This room is still probably my favorite room we've ever done. Show us around a little bit, like some of your favorite features. And
well, obviously as you enter, the first thing you see is this beautiful synth wall. And when we were just talking and dreaming, you know, it's like, hey man, Crowder, what do you want? And I'm like, well, I'm remedial, and so I need everything to just be working all the time, because what happens is in the creative process, a lot of times, you know, you'll spend hours just getting things plugged in right and powered on, and then by the time you get it working, you're like, you know, I actually want to make some ramen now.
Yeah.
Like, and then you miss your turn-in dates. So we have a synth wall that you guys figured out this lovely unit right here.
Tascam.
That thing changed
Saved.
the world, did it not?
It saved our lives.
Because you know, this was a remod, and so we didn't have initial wiring, you know, to run all of this to over there. So all of it's Ethernet. Everything's just on all the time. You know, this guy's just patched, always rolling. You know, you know, yeah. So everything's all live, all going into console.
You don't have to patch a thing.
I don't have to patch a thing.
Everything's labeled.
Yep, everything's labeled. I've got a template in Pro Tools that I just pull up that has everything already routed correctly. So it's literally just start a new song, and my only problem is choosing the title and what to call the song. That's it. The rest of it is
that's
like,
rare.
Yeah, I mean, mic's ready to go. We've got two options there. Main vocal, but then we've also got, you know, at the desk.
Which one do you use more?
Well, this is a lot of, you know, because I just pulled that down to, you know, track acoustic stuff. A lot of the writing and demo-ish pre-production happens over there, and then sometimes I like the way that vocal sounds.
So you keep that vocal sometimes.
A lot of times it.
That was one of your biggest things too when we did vocals. Is if I have to leave this on a record, I know that the quality will be good.
Exactly. Because a lot of times you're in the moment, you know, you get the cans on and you start to try real hard, and it's like, you get in your head too much. Second favorite thing in the room is not the synth wall.
Yeah, what is it?
That compressor you talked me into.
Are you glad? Are you glad?
I'm so glad. That was made for cutting vinyl.
Yeah.
And you know how like on these mics, a lot of times you'll use the sky lifter,
Cloud lifter.
Cloud lifter.
Yeah.
They're in the sky.
Yeah.
Sky cloud
association.
Word association. But these it does the same thing, but it sounds
That's one of
legit.
the pieces that you had that you said.
Correct.
No, this is.
It has to stay because that is awesome.
Yeah.
I think that our chains are great, and then also things are just ready to go. You know. Machines in there.
Ableton.
The Ableton. It's just things are just, there's just no stop in terms of creative flow. And that was really the main goal is, I mean, one, have a great sounding space, but then two, have a place that just never interrupts creativity. And man, we've done it. And then the guitar thing, I mean, I don't even know what to say about this. You got your pedal board.
When you said, hey, I want to have a drawer with just all my pedals,
Right.
and I want them to hit an amp room somewhere else, which we'll show.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, we could do that. No, I wasn't sure if we could. We did it. Thanks to Tascam.
And I mean, it's just ready to go. And then so what you're getting is a dry signal into here that you can do whatever with, you know. You can be in the box and pull up whatever amp software you're using right now. There's probably a Marshall on there. But then also in the amp room, we've got all these mic'd up, ready to go. Just with my home automation app, I just hit, you know, turn on the match list, turn on the divided by 13 or whatever, they come on.
Tascam saved our lives here. So we're going Dante into the room and out of the room. So one signal hitting all amps at all times, then getting shot back to the studio. Pro Tools is just input.
Yep, throw it through one of these amps, see if it sounds better.
That's great.
This one usually wins out.
Yeah.
It really does.
Yeah.
That little silver tone.
It's the best. And I love, and people can bring their amps
Yeah.
and play
Throw it
around.
in, same deal.
It's great.
Love it. It's just so functional and easy and simple. And as I said, I'm a little remedial, so it's all quite user friendly and
That's awesome.
difficult to mess up.
We didn't do construction here, like, because isolation was not something that you were really caring about. You know,
Right.
like, I want a super highly functional space that sounds great, and that's always easier to accomplish than trying to isolate. You know, that's
Right.
the hardest thing
You
to do.
spend a lot of money doing that,
Yeah.
and then not get to some of the fun stuff
Because
because
you've
your
done
budget's
that
gone.
in your old studio.
It's a lot of expense, and here we just didn't have that problem. Neighbor,
Yeah.
we're down below ground.
Yeah.
The only person that would be bothered is whoever's upstairs.
Right,
you know?
right.
And
Yeah.
they can go to Starbucks.
Yes, absolutely. So we came in that first time just to take physical measurements of the space. We could do some acoustical models. We took acoustical measurements as well. The desk was already here, and we had speakers set up, and we just gathered like baseline measurements of how the rooms were performing, because then that helped inform us on what we needed to do for the acoustical treatment. When you see pictures of this space, a lot of times people don't see that there's a lot of acoustical treatment because it's hidden. You know, there's stretched fabric throughout the space.
But you can see the depth of like the back wall where our little bear is. That's a lot of depth there
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
is treated.
Yeah,
And
we-
even this bump out is even more so.
Yeah, pretty much minimum of 4 inches of treatment in any of the places. It's a combination of some diffusion, some absorption. We've got these perforated panels that are on the back wall in front of the absorption, which helps to tune it to be better at certain frequencies. So like when we did our models and we figured out, oh, the room is struggling a little bit here or there, because it wasn't designed to be a studio. It was just an extra room. And so we were able to design the treatment around those issues that we found on that first trip. We also did renderings, to show like what it was going to look like. I can't remember. I think it was kind of collaboration. We all kind of came up with the idea of, having
that
more
Dropbox.
artwork in here. Having artwork, and so this base trap on the back wall, it's about 8 or 9 inches deep. And then it has clear diffusers in front of the artwork that we could pick, and you can change that out if you get tired of an image. And I really like that feature. I think it's something that people really gravitate towards.
Totally. We had the luxury of my wife doing this for a living.
Yeah.
And so she kind of had that, we're going to white it out. The amazing thing is that you can change the mooding with just the
With lights.
Yeah, if you own a song that don't feel like this needs to be right, you can go straight blue,
Yeah.
It's a little sad, we can get that blue going quick. Like,
That's right.
The ability to change the feeling in this environmental space is pretty cool just through lighting, which is awesome.
I remember the first time I came, and just like, I love your house. It's like the design and all the elements of it. I got really excited because I was like, if this is what the house looks like, the studio is going to be amazing. It's like, and Tony, she's just so good at all those little details. Like you can just look around this room and everything's intentional.
Yep.
And it doesn't look like an afterthought at all. It's just like everything was well thought out. And I just love it.
But to have a space that looks like something that you want to create within, you walk in and you're like, I'm ready, I need to make something now. And then everything being immediately accessible and available to start making something it's pretty much a dream.
Yeah.
For an artist or a creator.
What's the kind of comments you get from people when they come in here for the first time?
Most of the time, they're very colorful words. It's hard to be surprised when you're always creating, and to watch friends that make stuff be surprised and go, and then immediately go, I've got to do something. I've got to, level up. That part feels wonderful. I like it.
This room is still probably my favorite room we've ever done.
Well, it's my favorite room you've ever done.
That's good. That's good. That's good.
I'm partial.
No, but we get probably the most comments about this space too, like, because we're always talking to clients and we'll say, like, what's your inspiration? What do you want the room to look like? And they'll start going through our website like, can I have that? There's a studio out in Washington State that this was the main inspiration for it. There's a lot of white studios going in.
Right.
A lot of the reason is because of this one. So.
It's crazy that the inspiration dump that we did was all studios we like, and now this is being added.
We got in
into
the, we got in our
dark-
Pinterest board.
There it
That's
goes.
right. That's right.
There it goes.
Do we have Pinterest board?
Well, and I know that this was on the cover of Mix Magazine, and there was, photos of it done, and then the guys from Focal saw you had, the nice Focal speakers in here, but they weren't white.
No,
Everything in the room was white.
I was about to have them whited out. We were going to just have them wrapped, and y'all had this whole plan.
We tried, man. We
had this
before
whole
we even
plan.
got them installed. We reached out to some people at Folk Cow, and they're like, yes.
They're so good, man.
It is.
You
It's
sit
like-
down and you look at that, and you're like, that's just pristine. And I've got to make something.
I've gotten
that's
so
pristine.
many comments on these. I mean, it's one of a kind, so it's
Yeah,
a lot of people want it.
special, and they sound. I love the way the room sounds. I love the way they sound.
I was happy that that's what we went with. You just released a record not too long ago.
Mm-hmm.
When did Milk and Honey come out?
Oh man,
Dad-
math is hard.
Did you work on that album in this?
Oh yeah, that's what I was about to say a while ago, but then it sounded egotistical, so I bailed. I think due to a listening environment that one's inspiring, and then that I can hear detail that I couldn't hear previously. I was making most of my records in locker rooms while traveling on the road, in arenas or in the back of a bus, and just to be able to hear the clarity and detail and stuff. I think I'm making the best music I've made.
That's awesome.
I love this last record a lot, and
Yeah,
I feel like a lot of it has to do with being able to even just like mix references.
Yeah. Yep.
You get a mix in, and just to have an environment that you're used to and sounds good.
Trusted, that. Yep.
My mix notes were much better than they've been in the past.
Because you don't have to go like, okay, let me listen to it here.
Yeah.
Headphones
These
to the
are-
car.
Yeah.
It's you played and you trust the room and you know it's right and
Yep.
it's dialed in.
That's,
And we spent a lot of time
true.
dialing it in.
that's true.
Yeah. So
Yeah, there was a lot of speaker positioning and
and these speakers are heavy.
a couple subwoofers back there as well that we were adjusting
The
settings
desk,
on.
the desk is almost an entity in itself, putting
yeah.
out sound.
It's a unique one. So
Because this was built. Yeah, this was built before.
Prior.
And so we had to just say, we got to make it work.
Yeah.
We like it. We like the look of it. It's functional.
yeah,
And it turns out great.
yeah.
It did.
All the plans we submitted, like I know Simplified Acoustics came in and did all the install, and their crew was great to work with because they do a lot of studio projects for us, and just all these custom details with the cloud being.
Yeah, they were great.
Yeah, they knock it out.
And they got it done right. The thing came together right at the moment where we got kicked off the road due to social distancing.
Well, thanks, man, for doing this for us and giving us a tour of the space. I mean, again, it's one of my favorite ones we've done, and couldn't do it for a better person. So, thanks.
Well, that
thanks.
is really kind, and I had a blast working with you guys, and I love it. Couldn't be happier with how it turned out, for sure.